Oh, there we go. Microphone wasn't even on. Good evening. Welcome back, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. I forgot the microphone was off, and then I record movie reactions in a completely different way, and like TV show reactions, like Doctor Who, in a completely different way, and so I always have to make sure I switch things back and forth. Welcome back. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're having a great one out there today. We are listening to Elvis Costello. We're going to listen to this track, Pills and Soap. This is going to be off of the album Punch the Clock, released 1983, his 8th studio album. Why are we listening to Pills and Soap? We're listening to it because it was suggested and sponsored by Andreas. So Andreas, thank you so much for the recommendation. Thank you so much for the support as well. Let me search really quickly to see if anyone else has recommended this particular track. I gotta say, Pills and Soap sounds like quite the unique combination. I guess if you use soap, you clean yourself. If you abuse pills, you need to get yourself clean. I also see the track was recommended by Anton Neo Gazawala and Erica Lander. So thank you guys as well for the suggestion. Let's go ahead and dive into the track. We'll discuss it a little bit after. Here we go.
They talk to the sister, the father and the mother, with a microphone in one hand and a checkbook in the other. And the camera noses into the tears on her face, the tears on her face, the tears on her face. You can put them back together with your paper and paste, but you can't put them back together, you can't put them back together. What would you say, what would you do? Children and animals, 2 by 2. Give me the needle, give me the rope. We're gonna melt them down for pills and soap. 420 crowbars, journey your desire out of the frying pan into the fire. The king is in the counting house, some folk have all the luck, and all we get is pictures of Lord and Lady Muck. They come from lovely people with a hard line and hypocrisy. There are ashtrays of emotion for the fag ends of the aristocracy. What would you say? What would you do? Children and animals, 2 by 2. Give me the needle, give me the rope. We're gonna melt them down for pills and soap. Give me the needle, give me the rope. The sugar-coated pill is getting bitter still. You think your country needs you, but you know it never will. So pack up your troubles in a stolen handbag. Don't dilly-dally, boys, rally round the flag. Give us our daily bread in individual slices, and something in the daily rack to cancel any crisis. What would you say? What would you do? Children and animals, 2 by 2. Give me the needle, give me the rope. We're gonna melt them down for pills and soap. Give me the needle, give me the rope. We're going to melt them down for pills and soap.
What a really cool track. Incredibly unique in its sound. It doesn't sound like anything that I've heard from Elvis Costello. Can I tell you what this would remind me of? Okay, this particular track, I'm going to name another artist. Tell me what you think, okay? Tell me what you think of this one. Joe Jackson, but this is like the reverse flash of him, the upside down, the darker side, the yin to the yang. This particular track, because Joe Jackson presents, not of course in all of his works, but from what I think of him, a sophisticated kind of jazz poppiness with like bright piano, and it's a bounce and it's happy and it's exciting. I'm thinking like Body and Soul, and then this is kind of like the complete opposite. Still using the piano as a bass, still using that rhythm from the very desolate and yet heavy hitting thump of that bass drum to kind of drive home that rhythm. As catastrophic as it kind of sounds, it leaves everything a little bit dystopian. The piano is still a big focal point, probably the secondary most important focal point besides just Elvis's singing. But it plays in such a different way. Like I said, something very much more destructive and desolated. I mean, like afterwards. Like this is after the destruction. This is like an aftermath. And I love the way it plays. It's so heavy in its kind of theme. And it's shocking in certain points, the way that the keys are so heavy-handedly played and just chords, pushed down and stabbed onto the black and whites. And then the way that Elvis sings, it's suave with that deeper style that he sings here with a richness there. But while the voice sounds suave and the voice is deep and enriching, the way he kind of maneuvers around the track, it's a little bit black and white. There's something kind of stark about it and shocking and matter of fact without a hint of warmth that you would expect with something that's, a voice so rich and such. And I think that combination creates a really, really interesting picture. Along with the lyrics, I think that it's kind of like the exploitation of tragedies playing out in, of course, real life, and the exploitation of that by the news and the media and, oh God, what's that Tool song? Is it Vicarious? It kind of makes me think of that, if I'm remembering the right song. But really, really cool track, how that's all set up. And like I said, the thump of that bass is just like, it's just like, it is so deep. And I love how the piano is back there with it. And I'll tell you, I would have to listen to it a little bit again, but I didn't really hear anything else happening back there. Like, sometimes, okay, breaking the fourth wall, right? Sometimes, like, when I'm listening to a song and, of course, during a reaction, like, yes, I'm listening. Okay, there's the bass doing this and there's this doing this. Sometimes I kind of like turn off my brain. That's actually a good sign. If I'm turning off my brain and I'm just listening to the music and like enjoying it, and I may not like catch every single little thing that's happening because I'm just sitting there enjoying the music. Like a normal person that's just listening to music, you don't pick it apart in your mind. You just sit there and just let it ride over you, and you know how you feel on the back end of it. And that's kind of what I did with this track. So obviously the voice, the piano, and the drum were very evident, but I wasn't paying attention to really to see if there's anything else. Oh, the organ. Okay. It's a little bit of that.
So give me the pills and so.
It may not even be organ. It just may be like some sort of other key-based instrument. But yeah, I don't hear anything else in there. And even that snap that's going on throughout there, it kind of leads to a little bit of a stark kind of atmosphere. And I ain't talking Game of Thrones. Okay, you guys can't see. My phone is down here to my right on the desk here. And like my phone's locked. Like there shouldn't be anything happening on my screens. I'm not looking at my phone. But like I kept on seeing like it lighting up over here. And I'm like, why is it lighting up? My phone's locked. But I guess I didn't lock it. I had it like open. And these apps kept on opening up. My weather app open, my email app open. I'm like, what's happening over here? I guess my phone was unlocked and my wire, you can't see how far it goes, but my wire was on the phone and it was moving stuff. Make sure I didn't call anybody. Oh my God. See, this is what this is. Let's look at these lyrics. Why don't we? Why don't we do that? Why don't we do that? They talk to the sister, the father, and the mother with a microphone in one hand and a checkbook in the other. Like they'll even pay you just to talk to them, okay? And the camera noses into the tears on her face, see? And the tears on her face and the tears on her face, you can put them back together with your paper and paste. But you can't put them back together. You can't put them back together with your paper and paste. You can put back the face. If like, okay, someone's crying, of course. Let's just say, he says, talking to the mother, the father, the sister. So let's just pretend like they're wearing makeup, they're crying, so their mascara and their makeup is what's the proper term? I don't remember the proper term. Leaking. And so he's saying, like, you can fix it physically. You can fix that, but you can't fix the pain behind those tears. Not 100%. What would you say? What would you do? Children and animals 2 by 2. Give me the needle. Give me the rope. We're going to melt them down for needles and soap. Give me, like, we're going to, not literally, but symbolically kill them, kill their image, in a sense, sacrifice their image. This is reporters and media talking. We're going to sacrifice their image and melt them down to pills and soap. Pills and soap. Pills and soap for who? Pills and soap for those who are watching and partaking that media. Pills for other people, the viewers, to make them feel better about themselves, and soap for the viewers to make them feel clean about themselves. There's kind of a threefold connection here. The victims of the tragedy, the media who are using the victims, and then how the media uses them, the victims, and kind of churns them out through their machine and repurposes that tragedy to the viewer, to those who are watching, to make the viewer feel better about themselves. Make them feel a little sad and then feel better about themselves and how they're not suffering those same misfortunes. I'm just saying that's my theory, and I think that it's pretty good. 4 and 20 crowbars, gemming your desire out of the frying pan into the fire. 4 and 20 crowbars. The king is in the counting house. Some folk have all the luck, and all we get is pictures of Lord and Lady Muck. They come from lovely people with a hard line of hypocrisy. There are ashtrays of emotion, for the flag ends with aristocracy. I thought that said flag. I understand cigarette. I know. There are ashtrays of emotion. And the aristocracy is taking their cigarette, right? And they're tapping it into the ashtrays of emotion. Those leftovers. That's some really good imagery. Then here he says, give me the needle, give me the rope, as in let me do it, right? He does it twice. He says it twice. The sugar-coated pill is getting bitterer still. You think your country needs you, but you know it never will. It doesn't really need you. It needs your body. It needs your tragedy, but it doesn't need you. So pack up your troubles in a stolen handbag. Don't just get out of there. Don't dilly-dally, boys. Rally around the flag. Give us our daily bread in individual slices and something in the daily rack to cancel any crisis. Of course, the pill is hard to swallow, so you got to sugarcoat it. Who is he talking to? Who is he speaking to? See, this line here, I get it. Give us something in the newspaper to cancel any crisis, to negate any tragedy. Is it now speaking from the aristocracy or from a government or from any political power to the military to say, give us a win to cancel out the tragedies in the newspaper? Because it says rally around the flag. I don't know. That's where my mind goes. Let's look at the Wikipedia page here. It says in May '83, prior to the release of the album, it was released as a single credited to The Imposter. Okay, it was written in protest of Margaret Thatcher administration and has been described as a protest song against fascism. He had credited hip hop music, particularly The Message, with inspiring the song. Upon its release, the single became a top 20 hit in the UK, where it peaked at number 16. He would again utilize the Imposter pseudonym for the single release of Peace in Our Time. Lyrics reappear in Stick Out Your Tongue. Yeah, but what's it about? Because I think I'm pretty close. Pills and Soap provides social commentary on the abuse of animals as pets and exhibits in factory farming and scientific research. I am so far off. Inspired by the Animals film, which had turned Costello vegetarian, Costello saw Britain heading in this direction during an era of Thatcherism. Goldstone comments that it paints a horrifying picture of the cutthroat free market economy the conservatives are trying to create. The music reinforces the lyrical themes. The author describes its unrelenting drum beat, sounding like the march to the death camps, and crashing piano chords like a fall of doom. The beat was inspired, as we mentioned. Wow. I couldn't have been more off, to be honest. I actually could not have been more off. Well, you win some, you lose some. Let me know what you guys thought of it, of course, in the comments down below. Andreas, thank you so much for the suggestion. Thank you for the recommendation. You know, even though my interpretation was off, I still think that it's valid. Which begs the question, the time-old question, when determining the meaning of any piece of art, whose interpretation matters the most? The artist or those watching, listening, viewing the art? The intention or the interpretation? That's a question for another day. But for now, let's turn out the lights. And we'll revisit that maybe another time. Bye, guys.